Good morning and welcome to our Providence homestead. My name is Julie and we're in the middle of a 91-day declutter challenge. Today is day 42. Let me see, 7 times 6 is 42. So we're day 42, which is a day of rest. It's been designed that way that 6 days of the week are done used to declutter, and then one day is a day of rest. Some people use it as a day of catch up if they've had a busy week like I have. So I know it's been a while since I posted, but as I explained on day 36, this week has been the office, and our office is loaded with a lot of legal papers, both personal and professionally. My husband, part of the office, has some privy information, and so I didn't feel it right to share pictures of the office, but it's a typical office. It's one of the bedrooms of the home that we decided to make into an office. It is a shared office, so he has his desk and his files or filing cabinet, and I have my desk and my filing cabinet. We have a printer that has a cabinet that houses printer type information, printer supplies. And then I have a bookshelf, 2 bookshelves actually, that I house a lot of cookbooks. I love cookbooks of all different kinds. I get some that are like the professional, like I just bought Dolly Parton's. I don't necessarily cook a lot of recipes out of there, but I love the stories. So I treat a lot of cookbooks as history, a way of looking into someone's lives. I think the greatest treasure so far that I found was a cookbook that was from the 40s and 50s, where women would run they were telephone operators, but they ran it out of their home. So in that cookbook was stories of their lives and also quick recipes of how they could put a meal on the stove, have it cook, and then during the day they could still work and operate the telephone lines, but then they could also do their household chores because they still had those. They had laundry, cleaning the house, taking care of the kids, that kind of thing. But in the midst of all of that, all that hard work, they had recipes. So I thought it was just very interesting of how far we've come and where we ladies were at one point, trying to run a household, put meal on the table, 3 meals a day, run a job, that kind of thing. So these women were hardworking, very dedicated, and like I said, I just use it as a reading, like a reading novel with a few recipes mixed in. That's kind of the way I looked at it. Boy, the wind is really like messing up my hair. So those cookbooks are in there, and I get like old church cookbooks, and I like to compare, like for instance, a potato salad. Get several different cookbooks, and usually every cookbook from a church cookbook sale, they have a potato salad recipe. So I like to see the different ways they made them, and somewhere in between I make mine. So I don't always adhere to a recipe. I like to see the basics and then go from there. If I don't know why I'm getting off on this tangent on recipes, but here we go. And then a lot of times, I'll find a recipe, and in our home, if I find a recipe, or my daughter finds a recipe, or even my husband finds one, and he says, "Oh, this looks really interesting. This looks like it should, would be good." So I'll fix the recipe exactly how it's described, exactly the same ingredients, the same way of preparing it and mixing it, and I will fix that. And I tell my family, okay, this recipe is fair game. So we do where they can critique it as much as they want. pause. Sorry, my husband had called me. So they can critique it as much as they want. They can say, oh, it's too much this, it's too much that, it's not enough, whatever. And usually it's not enough garlic. But they can critique it all they want. And then I take their critiques, and then the next time I make it in a couple weeks, I'll say, okay, now I've made all the changes, everybody suggested, what do you think now? And they have the opportunity to either say, well, I thought it needed more of this, but I don't think so, or I know you added more of this, can you add a little bit more, that kind of thing. But once they say it's good, then they know that's the recipe for the family. So it's their choice whether they have to eat something over and over that they don't like, because I'm giving them fair opportunity to change it, how our family eats, what our family likes. And again, my apologies. So that's how we do recipes in our household. And then once it's come to where we all agree on the ingredients and the taste, and we love it, then I have a notebook that I keep family favorites in, and I put it in there. So when it's a month later and they go, oh, remember that recipe you made? Can we have that again? Then I can go in that notebook and then pull it out, and then I have it. And if something ever happens to me, then the family has a family recipe book that they can go by. But so that went off on a tangent, I know. But that's kind of how we do with recipes. I love recipe books. I love, and the older the better. I know a lot of times it's harder to convert because they'll say a dash of this, a dash of that. Some contain lard, which I don't use, that kind of thing. So sometimes if it is a 40s or a 50s recipe, I do have to change it to make it healthier, at least better choices, and kind of go from there. But anyway, today is an overcast day. As you can tell, it's a very windy day. It's day 42. It's a day of rest. I doubt very seriously if I rest very much. I do have a few things left to do in the office. I have half of the closet to do. And then I need to do something with all the receipts from my daughter and myself's trip to Georgia this past week, which I totally loved, where we took the Dobermans, the puppies, because we, as our Providence homesteads, we're part of Providence Kennels, and our daughter breeds and raises Dobermans. And so we had to go there for the ear cropping. People don't know what that is. That's where you take their ears and they go through surgery and they make it where they will stand up. So that's a standard. That's what has to be done per AKC, and they are AKC registered Dobermans. So don't make any comments about whether you agree with that or disagree with that. It is what it is, and we're going to continue to do that, and nothing you say is going to change that. Don't mean to be harsh, but I know people have strong opinions about different things. And sometimes they can get a little ugly with their comments. But anyway, so like I said, today will be a little bit of rest, a little bit of catch up, a little bit of just enjoying being home with my husband. I've missed him. And yeah, so that's it for today. I hope you enjoy today. I'm going to take a walk around the property and get a couple pictures of things that are blooming. We have a beautiful magnolia tree. Oh my gosh. And the flowers are starting to fall, but it's a different flower that came up. The tree is naked of any kind of leaves, but it has these beautiful white flowers. In fact, our neighbor, across the pasture, seen it and she loved it, and she's like, oh my gosh, what kind of tree is that? And I'm like, it's a magnolia. It will bloom with these white flowers, and then in the summer they will bloom with regular, what we would normally typically see as a magnolia flower. But so yeah, I'm going to walk around and let you see some pictures, and I've got my cup of coffee, and I'm just going to take a walk around the property, enjoy the beautiful weather before the storms roll in later this afternoon, and just enjoy the day that God's given us. Okay, so next time, I will, at the end of the video, I will post Next week's assignment, I will be, better at posting each day of what the activity is. But next week is craft room. Now, again, I don't have a craft room. I have crafts, but not a room. Boy, wouldn't that be nice to have all these different rooms. And you probably can hear the dogs in the background just going after it. I think our daughter is out there now with them. So what I'm going to do is we call it an outbuilding. The previous owners called it a cookhouse. We call it a cottage. It's an all-inclusive, like little efficiency apartment. But inside there is all the boxes from our storage unit before we moved here. I haven't even gone through them all. And I'd say probably 50% of it is Christmas, but there's other things in there like kitchen, that kind of thing. I think this week that's what I'm going to concentrate is that room, if nothing else, but to divide it, because at this point, I don't want to go through Christmas. I don't know about you, but to go through Christmas and it not be Christmas, it seems kind of futile, because what I want to do is go through Christmas when I'm putting it out, and whatever doesn't have a home, have a place, then those are the things I'm going to get rid of. And since I'm not decorating for Christmas, I don't want to just empty up those boxes, that kind of thing. Now, if I am opening boxes and I find something broken, of course I will get rid of those. But for the most part, I just wanted to divide everything, because if there is kitchen things out there, then I want to put them in the kitchen, because I'm missing my Instapot, I'm missing my blender, my mandolin. There's a lot of different things that I haven't found yet, and they may be out there in that cottage. So my first thing is just to kind of divide everything into what it is. And if there's a mixed box, then divide that into different sections. And that way I feel like I can attack the boxes a little bit better. Like if I'm going to concentrate on kitchen, then I'm going to just concentrate on all the boxes that are kitchen. If there's miscellaneous, I haven't used it in a year, 2 years, 3 years. It probably will end up going anyway, because I have enough stuff and I don't need that extra clutter. So it will be a task. It will take all week for sure, but each day I will come on and let you see what I've been able to accomplish, and also give you that day's assignment if you do have a craft room, or maybe you, like us, instead of you having an office, taking a bedroom and made an office. I know many women are fortunate. They have their children grow up, move out, and they turn their bedroom into a craft work area. So that's fabulous, fabulous. So we'll go from there. And like, if you're like me and you don't have a craft room, then find an area that needs decluttering, but isn't specifically on the list of rooms to do in the home. Maybe you have a shed outside. It might take you a whole week to go through that shed. Just different things. So again, work it how it works for you and how it's better for you. So I've talked long enough about cookbooks and everything else, but like I said, I will put that on the end and let you see. It just went dark, didn't it? Let you see what the next week's assignment is, and maybe there's some areas that work within where your crafts are. And like I said, if they don't, then find something else in your home that would classify that as an area to do. Okay, so until tomorrow, thank you so much for dropping by our Providence homestead. I'm so glad you're here. Give a thumbs up, like, comment, share, and subscribe to our videos so you're always notified when a new one comes online. Okay, so until then, hug your loved ones, tell them you love them, and take care, and God bless. See you next time. I don't know if you can see him, but I have a little love singing to me this morning. Do you see him? Right there on the very tip of that branch. Ooh, there he is. You know what kind of bird that is? Let me know. But he's singing a beautiful song to me this morning. I love it. That's why I love just walking around the property every once in a while just to clear my mind. And just enjoy nature. Beautiful bird. It's one of the reasons I love walking around the homestead.